What is up, guys? Jake from One Hive here with the next cleanup video, and you might notice that this is one from a little while back in the FPC Sweden war that we had, but it was one that I liked and I wanted to hang on to because I knew at some point I'd want to use it, and that's today. So, looking at the base, it's an interesting base because it sort of telegraphed that it could be a possible um, all single bomb location base, simply because there's not any real good spots. Start looking at the base, okay, there could be one here, but that's pretty bad spot because from just like 6 hogs right here, you could, test it out, trigger it if it was there. Um, what else does he have here? I mean, you could say there's one in here, but nobody's going to put a double bomb spot diagonal like that in right next to the queen. That would be insane. There could be one here, but there's no defense over there. You see what I'm saying? You go around the base, could be one here, but I mean, you can't put it around the outside of the base like that. So the other only one is right here in the core, which is a diagonal, which could work. It's not the best setup, but it could work. So attacking this base fresh, that's where I would assume it is a double in the core there, and then just 2 singles. Pretty common thing to see. So what Poppy does is a pretty smart plan, in my opinion. Comes at it with just the 1 golem, draws fire from all this point in defense, creates his funnel with his wizards, king and queen, all that. He does have a bit of a wall breaker fail. Doesn't quite get it opened up. A few of them go off, but doesn't get it all the way opened up. So it takes his troops a little bit more time to get through. They do end up getting through, get the queen taken care of, and the CC troops taken care of. A little bit of a late BK ability as well. One that we talked about. This, of course, was way before that video, but another good illustration of that. And then from there, start sending his hog just sort of surgical style around the base. And when you're attacking a base like this for the first time, essentially what he's doing, he's got the 4 heal spells, but he's fishing for giant bombs, and as a defender, if you can force him to use those spells where you don't want him to, or he doesn't want to, and where you want him to, that's the idea behind single bomb locations. And honestly, this base did it pretty well. In my opinion, it's a lot easier on the second attack than having a good double bomb set, but the first attack is very difficult, and this illustrates that. As his hogs start coming through, there is a giant bomb. I think it's right here. So he does have a perfect first heal. It's great. Was ready for it. Drops it down there anyways because of that expo and heals it up. As the hogs start moving around, he drops another heal right here. And I think what he was doing is anticipating that double bomb and trying to hope that his hogs would sort of path on one side and not trigger them both. And they're not there. So I think it catches him off guard. These hogs are starting to move in and they trigger that bomb. So he drops another heal right here. And this heal right here, I think, was the one that cost him pretty much useless. I don't think he even heals anything in this for the most part, because this is dead. This is dead. There is a Tesla that pops here, and there is a giant bomb right there in front of the Tesla. So he doesn't even quite get the hog standing on the Tesla. So he loses a few hogs there. And then as these hogs on this side start moving in, he does heal right here because there's more Teslas and there is a giant bomb here and here. The problem is the heal is so early that by the time they get to this very last giant bomb, the heal has wore off. The bomb goes off. They do end up taking out this last wizard tower, but the king is standing right there. Level 21 queen and a bunch of hogs that are taking 1 swipe apiece to take out, and that is pretty much the end of the game. So again, as a defender, good job. As an attacker, just missed a few heals, and that can cost you. That's the beautiful balance at Town Hall 9. You screw up one little thing on an otherwise really good attack, and you end up with not a 3-star. So let's watch Poppy do it. We'll come back to the drawing board. All right, here we go with Poppy's attack. Coming in from the top with that golem. He's real easy there because all of those point defense will target 1 golem. No need to bring more than that. And all he's really wanting to do with no jump spell is clear out that compartment the queen's in and get those 2 archer towers out of the way. So sends the golem in, starts dropping those wizards for cleanup. The reason he dropped the golem on the right side there is to keep the queen from aggroing it until that cannon was dead and he can move in. Now, the downside to that is right there. The wall breaker fail happened because the queen was not targeting anything, and as the wall breakers got into range, he just sniped them out. So right here, as we talked about in the king video, this ability should have been used like 3 seconds earlier probably, and watch as the king dies right here. You'll see that for about 3 seconds, that raid is laying on the ground with nobody using it. A couple of those barbs are using it, but still, the point is the king wasn't getting it. The CC troops come out, poison goes down. Queen is working on that storage, but right here she's going to get onto those CC troops and help take those out. So all that's good. Here come the hogs, and he's just surgical styling. I mean, again, fishing for those giant bombs. He's got a couple spots that he knows he wants to drop heals. Again, that was a perfect heal in my opinion, right on that X-bow and that wizard tower, keeping all of those hogs up. And then that one bomb goes off, no big deal. They get healed right back up. Here comes the second heal. He's going to drop it over this inferno, or excuse me, this Tesla and air defense while he's dealing with that Barb King, which was great. Look at that third heal. That's the one right there. Look at that. It's not even healing anything. That one hog that was on that air defense, and then there's the last heal. You see it was a good spot, just too early, because right here it wears off, the bomb goes off, and boom, all you've got is a bunch of crippled hogs standing in front of some skeletons and that level 21 king, and he is just going to go to town on them. Once they go down, he takes the queen out, and that is pretty much that. We'll fast forward here because all it is some wizards running around, getting a little bit of cleanup around the outside, but there is no chance of them getting to that core and taking that king out and getting the 3-star. So very, very nice attack. A few small mistakes on the heal spells, but again, especially when you've got 4 giant bombs, that can be everything. Let's see how this one was cleaned up. All right, looking back at the base, Moi looks at that attack and comes up with a really nice plan to adjust for it. And interestingly enough, look at this composition. No wall breakers, just wizards and hogs in his army, plus the CC golem. Sends it in right here, just same thing, creates the funnel, and then just waits for the king to start beating on this wall. And once he does, just uses the king's ability, just beats through it and actually gets just as much for his king in that attack as Poppy did without the use of wall breakers. So actually pretty neat little adjustment. I probably wouldn't recommend it because it could be tricky and you might get nothing for it, but Moi makes it work and work well. Gets in there, takes all that out, CC troops, poison, doesn't reinvent the wheel. The attack pretty much at the base. He's just adjusting the heal spells for the most part, plus that little adjustment on the wall breakers. Hogs start coming in. He knows exactly where to drop these heals at. Drops one there, more hogs, more hogs. He knows it doesn't have to worry about this core simply because there's nothing there, and this is all dead from the queen. So once these hogs take this out, there's nothing hitting them besides the Barb King and that Tesla. So he doesn't even heal. He lets the hogs work their way through, and these hogs coming in, he does drop a heal right here for that giant bomb. And as these hogs start converging in, he does drop a last heal there for that Tesla and the giant bomb there. Now, the reason after this point, everything's dead, the hogs start running out to here. He's got one heal left. Probably could have swagged it, but wisely dropped it on the king and the skeletons as they're beating on the hogs as they're trying to clean up, just to preserve his hogs, make sure he gets the 3-star. So again, when you run into these single bomb bases, heal placement is way more important than bases with double bomb sets and stuff like that. They've got to be on point, and sometimes on a first attack, it's very difficult. But let's watch Moi do this, and we'll wrap this one up. All right, here we go with Moi's attack. Again, not changing a whole lot, but the main thing is the spell placement and this non-wall breaker method of getting into that compartment, which I thought was pretty interesting. Right here, king is already down. The reason he drops the king so early, he wants him to go to that cannon because that is going to put him closest to that town hall and make him beat on that compartment as opposed to like an archer tower or something like that, drawing him over. A few hogs go down just to help out with that archer tower that's flanking, and then right there, you saw how early he used that king's ability, beats through that wall, and then still gets in there and gets that queen taken care of before he goes down. CC troops coming out, drops the poison right there, good placement on that. Balloons get in it and really slows them down as the queen finishes off that dark elixir storage. Once that's down, it is going to be her taking those out, and then from there, it is time to send the hogs in. Again, Moi knowing exactly where the bombs, the Teslas, all that stuff are, and having actually a few more hogs than Poppy did. So he can come a little heavy on the start here, sending these hogs in, and again, once that cannon goes down, he drops that heal spell right in the right spot. It's going to protect them from that giant bomb, from that Tesla. It's going to pop from that X-bow and so on. Then he just moves his way around the base, dropping those hogs in, taking out all of these defenses, and watch how he does not even heal this core here. He just lets the hogs work their way through it, just almost like sacrificial hogs, don't all die, but knowing that there's no bomb there, he needs his heals for the bomb spots, so really takes care of his hogs that way. Right here, loses several hogs to that core, but he's got so many he's still deploying at this point with only a few defenses left. So when you do that, you know you've pretty much got the base unless you get wrecked by giant bombs. But that's not going to happen. He's got the heal spells right there. Last one goes off. And then again, right here, he doesn't have to drop this, but probably smart, drops it on those hogs, keeping them up, keeping them full health, because that king is going to take his queen out. And now as the hogs turn around and deal with that king, it is game over. All right, that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you learned something from it. Again, sometimes you're going to run to these single bomb bases, so hope it helped. Until next time, Jake from One Hive doing my best to help you guys suck less.